I'm not going to lie, guys. I wasn't even going to do a podcast. Fortunately, I've lost a dear friend. But that friend, if they knew I wasn't going to do it, they would have been like, why? Just do the episode, mate. So this is for them. We've got the usual bits that we do. We've got someone who has a relationship problem with a plant, a father who totally forgot about the school holidays, and did you know about the pilot who climbed out of the cockpit but saved all of his passengers? Also, we've got something to do with a very succulent Chinese meal. This is for my dear friend who would be totally missed. It's episode 216, Griff's Calling. Hello everybody, welcome back. Today I wasn't in the mood to record a podcast episode. Fortunately, I've lost a good dear friend of mine who was very close to me. He was a person that I spoke about on the last episode where I asked for donations to help him get back on his feet. Fortunately, he passed away on Friday night, on Good Friday. It's been absolutely tragic. Now, this guy, I've known him for a good few years now. We met after lockdown at a gig and we just instantly became friends. We exchanged numbers, and ever since then, we almost called each other nearly every single day. He would call me all the time. I would call him back. We always spoke. We had banter. We talked about life. We hated talking about gigs all the time. We just talked about general stuff. And now that he's gone, it just feels like there's been a massive hole in my circle of friends, and he played a big part of that. It's been really difficult, I'm not going to lie. Yesterday I wanted to record my podcast and I wasn't even in the mood. I couldn't be bothered to do anything. I was in tears and I'm still upset now. I haven't forgotten him. It's crazy because every time I would record a podcast episode, he would call. Sometimes I had to put my phone on silent or put it on aeroplane mode because I know when he rings and then I'm going to end up talking to him. And sometimes I text him back going, I'm just recording my podcast, I'll call you in a bit. I wish I could say that to him now. Honestly. I wish he could disturb me right now, and if he did, I would just put him on this episode and we can get to speak to him. We did raise £4,000, so thank you if you did donate. We really appreciate that. Unfortunately, he didn't make it through. We was hoping to get him a place once he's back on his feet. It's difficult. I mean, like, you don't know what somebody's going through, and I was so close with him. He didn't even tell me. So if you're ever going through something in life, just tell your friends, man. Tell somebody out there, maybe a stranger. Someone can help you out. Don't suffer in silence. That's all I'm going to say. Don't suffer in silence. So I think he would have wanted me to carry on with the podcast. So we're going to try. We'll try my best. Yeah, we will try. So yeah, I've dedicated this one for him, to be honest. I'm trying to think about all the conversations we used to have. We used to talk about some crazy stuff, man. He used to tell me some mad stories of his about him growing up, and he's very close to his mum, and it's his mum's birthday today, so happy birthday to Griff's mum. I mean, How do you say to somebody happy birthday when they've lost their son? Absolutely awful, man. So this is the thing, like, do I do this podcast? Do I carry on? I was going to do a quick message to everyone just to say sorry there isn't an episode this week. Fortunately, due to losing a close friend. But I think it's what he would have wanted. He probably would have went, don't stop your podcast just because of me. I'm sure he would say that to me. I think he wanted to be a guest one day. He said to me, "Oh, well, can I be a guest on your podcast?" And I was like, "I don't really do guests." I wish I did have him now as a guest. Come to think of it. Yeah, maybe this is going to be a shorter podcast, but we'll try and do it as we always do. But first, I was thinking we should do a confession. Red is the priest. I click the clan to fuel the beast. It is confession time on the Reddit forum. This one has been put up by somebody called Tough Okra. It's relating to spring break. We also have a spring break here in the UK. The kids are off for 2 weeks. And my kids did say to me, "Dad, are we going to do anything this year?" Are you going to take us out? Yeah, I should do. I mean, I haven't, but I should do. I've just been working constantly, doing the odd gigs. I haven't got anything tonight. But, yeah, I'm sure I'll take them somewhere. But Tough Okra is saying he was excited for the spring break, only to realise that my kids were off too. So they forgot that their children were off. Tough Okra says, "I feel like a terrible father and very selfish at the same time. My sister is flying in this week. I took leave from work to spend time with her, who I haven't seen in years. I had zero idea that my kids, who are in elementary school, were off the same week for spring break. It literally never once occurred to me, legitimately." Mate, it happens, man. That's the thing when you're a dad, you forget sometimes, you know. I forget sometimes that my kid has got parents' evening. I'll know because I'll get a letter, but it's my wife who always attends it. So I don't even get to go to that. And then I forget. And then she's like, "Oh, I went to so-and-so's parents' evening today." And I'm like, "Oh, God, I forgot about that." So, yeah, we can be terrible fathers, but not terrible in that sense. We just don't realise that everything flies by. We forget dates. I've always got to double check, when is the school holidays in the UK? And then I've got to check the council, because every council is different. But most of them are more or less the same, but some schools might have a day off before, or they might have to go back a day earlier or after, so it varies. I'm sure it's the same in the United States. Tough Okra is saying, "Now I'm feeling absolutely gutted, both at the guilt." You shouldn't feel guilty, mate. It's okay. But also the realisation that they're going to be home the entire time. They are both autistic. Oh no, you've just made it worse now, mate. I was having sympathy for you, and now you've just told me they're both autistic. Only kidding. My son is also autistic, so I know how you feel right now. And I cannot emphasise enough how infantrilingly, I think that's how you say it, exhausting they are. Oh yeah, they can be. My son, he's always out. He's out now. He's in the garden. He's making noise. That was him who slammed the door earlier on. He must have heard a little bang. That was him. He likes being outside. He loves it. I'll tell you what's funny. Before I forget, I do this bit. So last week, I took him out. We both went out. We went to a little nature reserve that we've never been to before. And I'll be honest, it looked like the type of place where somebody would just dump rubbish. That's what the car park looked like. But it was okay. It was like a little swampy area. There was loads of ducks and stuff like that. And we had a little walk around. Then I thought, oh, we are near a shopping mall. Let me take him there and I'll buy him a gift, a toy, from a toy shop. So I took him down there. He took ages to find a toy. He's really into trains. But weirdly, this toy shop never had any trains. So I bought him a toy. We come back home. And my eldest went, oh, so you went to the toy shop and you didn't get me anything? And my son replied, well, we only saw things that you would have liked before puberty. I was laughing for ages. Honestly, I couldn't stop laughing, man. I thought, what a funny guy. He's not even trying to be funny, but this is what I love about autistic children. They are just amazing. They say how it is. You wouldn't have liked something before puberty. Oh, God, that's the funniest response I've ever heard. So, yeah, that's what we did. And, I mean, was that during the spring break? Yeah, kind of. So I don't feel too bad now. Not like you, tough okra. I'm only kidding. So let's see what he's saying. Fridays are the worst days of the week for me. Is that because of work? Because it means I don't have to work the next 2 days. And now Monday is 10 days away. I don't know what you mean by that, but maybe you're just thinking, do you know what? I'm sure your sister is going to want to meet your kids anyway. I think if you explain to her, I didn't realise it's a kid's holiday, take 1 day or half a day, take them out. You don't have to go too far. I'm sure they'll be happy enough. Or maybe just, try and explain it to them if you can. I'm not too sure if but I feel your pain, mate. Honestly, as a father and a father to 2 children as well, one of them being autistic, it is difficult to try and balance everything. But I would probably suggest what you should do from now on is Google or find out where when the next holidays are, and then put that in your diary on your phone, or if you write it down. I don't know how you do it. I always put mine in my phone, so I'll put down a school kids holiday. Then again, I don't always do that, but I should do that. And then I'll know by looking at it going, oh, okay, the kids are off. Because even I thought, with the Easter holidays here in the UK, I thought, I should have took a week off. I haven't had a break since last year, August. And what are we now? We're in April. So I don't want to count the months, but it's been over 6 months. I said to my wife the other day, I said, I really need a break. I really need a break. Last holiday was in August. I've been working every week. I work on weekends, which are gigs. I'm basically doing 2 jobs. And, and everything else on top of that. But with the house, doing the house up, and I'm still doing it now. I'm doing a little bit more painting, guys. I don't even want to talk about that. That's still going on forever, because we've decided to do more stuff. We decided to put the TV cables into the wall, which we've had to call the electricians out again. And they're in the walls now, and I've got to plaster that up and then paint it. That's literally what I've been doing. So little touch-ups before we get the carpet in. So that's what, So I'm going off track now, but yeah, do that, mate. Just get a diary, put it in. At least that way, in advance, you'll know, and I will know as well when I can take a break. Because I don't want to take a break while the kids are at school. I'm definitely going to take a break. I think with the next summer holidays, that'll be 12 months. I'll definitely have maybe a week or even 2 weeks. I'm happy to have 2 weeks holiday, honestly. But every time I get to that time, I'm like, no, I need money for this. I need money for that. It's hard, innit? Life is hard. Life is proper hard. But yeah, I hope you get to spend time with your kids, tough okra. Not sure if you guys can hear it, but I feel like I can hear my computer's fan through the microphone. If you guys can hear that noise, I do apologise. It sounds proper loud. It shouldn't be that loud. I don't know what's going on, and I hope you lot don't hear it. Saying that, we was talking about school holidays and stuff. Me and my son were trying to plan to go to a railway museum model show. I think I've said it wrong. It's a model railway festival. Didn't even know there was one that existed, and it's in my hometown in Birmingham, called the Model Railway Club. So we're hoping to do that. Oh, because I want to do something for his birthday, and apparently there's one in April at the NEC. Hopefully we can get to that. Otherwise, I'm going to have to take him to like a proper old steam engine type of railway museum. That's what I'm going to have to do. So we are going to do a this. What the? That's right. It's what the ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. What the ba-ba-ba-ba-ba today is. In 1935, a pilot crawled out of the cockpit mid-flight to fix a stuck wheel. Eh? Yes, do you want to know about this story? The pilot I'm referring to, his name is Clyde Pangborn. He was flying a Douglas DC-2 for Maya Airlines over Central America. The aircraft's landing gear became stuck in half an extended position. Realising a belly landing would be fatal for the passengers, Pangborn handed the controls to a passenger who has never flown an aeroplane before and gave them simple instructions to keep the craft level. He then performed the following. He crawled out of the cockpit, climbed out the window and onto the fuselage mid-flight. Hung by his belt to reach the jammed wheel, he had his legs held by somebody inside the cockpit while he suspended himself outside the aircraft. He then spent around 40 minutes in freezing wind manually prying the landing gear into place with a screwdriver or a similar tool until it locked. Once the big gear was secured, he climbed back inside, successfully landed the plane, and he saved everyone on board. That is crazy. I didn't know that. Shout out to Clyde Pangborn. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a real hero. Now, I know I'm not any hero myself, because I thought to myself, have I done anything like that? Where I've saved people? Have I saved... Well, there was this one woman, but she was under distress. She was banging her head against a wall, right? It was near a graveyard. I'm sure I've told you this, guys, before. This is like many, many episodes ago. I think I saved her because I rang 999 and I told her about that I've just witnessed a woman doing that. I was driving at the time, so I was unable to stop because it was like, you know, when you drive past and you see something. That's what I saw. So I'm hoping that person I've probably saved. Transport-wise, public transport. No, I don't think so. Not when I was a cab driver. But hey, you never know when you're a cab driver. You could be doing something that can change someone else's destiny, isn't it? I don't know. But yeah, talking about destinies, has anyone heard of this? No stupid question. Is it weird that I feel guilty when walking out of a store without buying anything? This has been put up by Blur Whisper on the No Stupid Questions forum on Reddit. Is it weird when you feel guilty? Yeah, it is weird. I've done that. There's a shop by me that sells naan breads, but they may come fresh. So fresh naan, Persian bread, all these different types of, like bread, basically. I don't know if you have naan breads in America. I'm guessing you're American. He probably even isn't. But I don't know why I'm saying that. So yeah, every time I go in there, because I order it over the phone, So it's like, what, 3 naan breads for £1. And honestly, they're massive. You should see the size of these naan breads. They're huge. And I think this, because it's so cheap, I feel guilty just going in there and buying that. So, I'll order it on the phone. I'll pop down. What? It's going to cost me £2 or £3 to get a load of naans, freshly made. And I think I've only spent £3 in the shop. So I end up buying more stuff that I don't even need. But it's mainly snacks. So it'll be stuff like, those fried corns that you get, the spicy ones. I'll get things like that, or I'll get almonds, or, peanuts. Or even like an old Indian crisp that they sell. I am one of them, and I do feel guilty. It's even worse when you go into a charity shop, I think. Walk into a charity shop and you don't buy nothing. That is awful, isn't it? It's a bit like when I was talking about how a lot of shops now are asking for donations on the till. And then the cashier would ask you to press yes or no. It's the same thing. Blur Whisper is saying every time I can't find what I'm looking for and have to pass the cashier to leave, I feel like I've committed a crime. I try to look as innocent as possible, but in my head, I'm convinced they think I've stolen something. Does everyone else feel this way, or is it just me? I think a lot of us feel like you do. I don't know about the stealing thing. I don't feel like they're looking at me like I've just stole something. I mean, shopkeepers know. You go in, not everyone's going to buy anything. They're going to walk in, they're going to browse. If they sell something, bonus to them. They've made some money, Has anyone ever felt guilty in a restaurant? I think I've done it once when I was on holiday. Me and the missus, we walked up to this restaurant and was looking at the menu. And the bloke come over and said, come inside, come and have a look. And then we walked in. And I don't know what changed our mind. It could have been because there wasn't enough for the kids. And we were just like, nah. And we just turned round and bought back out. That makes you feel guilty. They must think, what the hell? Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, I get you, Griff, Blur Whisper. I get it. Nah, just don't worry about it, man. Depends on the shop, innit? Next time you do your shopping, or if you're going out, just plan it. Just think to yourself, is it worth me walking into this store? Am I going to feel guilty? Probably. Better not go in there then. But you can't help it. You can't satisfy everybody, I'm afraid. Talking about satisfaction, actually, you know what always satisfies me? It's a British problem. Yes, that's right. British problem. You know that. You know what I do here. I don't mess around with any British problem. We've got so many of them. What are we meant to do? Someone called Fluffy Bunny Flip-Flops has an absolute dilemma on their hands. Let's find out what it is. Keeping a herb plant alive that I just don't want and never wanted. We've had that problem. I haven't. What kind of herb plant are you thinking of, though? I've got another herb plant that I'm thinking of, but it only grows unless you've got really nice weather. My mate had one in his back garden. He literally just threw some seeds in the garden. And the next thing, we had one of the hottest summers ever in the UK. And this plant grew. Oh, it grew well. Very well. I don't think you're on the same type of herb plant, though. Fluffy Bunny is saying they went to Asda and they got some basil. Not fresh basil in a plastic packet. So they have a basil plant. Is it basil or basil? I don't even know. They bought the basil plant. We'll call it basil. Pull a few leaves off for my recipe. Decided that it's stupid to throw the plant away, so put it in a small jar with some water. Water the plant and gave it sunlight. The plant is now getting bigger and producing more basil than I could possibly ever use. I don't want to kill the plant because we've been through so much together. Continue watering the plant. How does this ever end? Does anybody want a basil plant? That is funny, man. That's cheered me up, Fluffy. Oh God, imagine that. You bought a plant and you don't want it and it just keeps overgrowing. That's funny, isn't it? It's like an unwanted guest. They just keep staying. Oh God. Well, I could do with a basil plant. I don't think I ever used basil, in all honesty, do I? I'm not sure, but yeah. Just keep using it. I don't know. Give it to your neighbours. Cut a bit off and say, I've got a bit of basil. Would you fancy it? You know, I don't know. Can you get a refund on the plant? Maybe it's one of those plants where it's rugged. It can grow no matter what weather. As long as you water it, which you're doing. Just maybe talk to it, man. I think it probably likes you. I don't even know. It's a very uncommon British problem. Or isn't it? I don't know. There's probably gardeners out there who would wish they was you right now. I'm pretty sure of it. Maybe plant it in your garden. Plant it in your garden, let it grow, and I bet it'll get massive. Well, I've actually got a mint plant in my garden. It grows every year. I didn't put it there. I'm presuming the neighbours the people that used to live in my house before, they must have put it there. God knows, and it keeps coming back every year. I've got mint growing in my garden. Sometimes I'll cut it off and I'll give it to my mum because she'll make chutney out of it. So it does come in useful. You can make mint tea. Find some basil recipes. There's got to be some out there, isn't it? If you're in Birmingham, let me know where you are. I'll definitely come and pick some up off you. I love that. Right, guys, I wasn't going to do this today. As you lot know, I was not going to do it. But like I said, I've had to do it. I can't not do it. You know, you lot are the ones that keep me insane, should I say. There's not many of you. There's not many listeners. But those who do listen, I appreciate it. I check online. I have a look. I see where people are listening from. It tells me. You know, I've got listeners in Japan, Singapore, USA, Germany, everywhere. So thank you, guys. You know, it means a lot to me. As much as it does to you, it means a lot to me. And I think I just needed this today. You know. So yeah, let's end the podcast on a positive note. Or is it? Who knows? With a weird news story. Succulent Chinese Meal. A speech that has been added to Australia's National Film and Sound Archive. Jack Carlson's rallying cry of democracy manifest added to a national collection of sound recordings that holds historical, cultural, and aesthetic significance. Now, some of you probably heard this, that guy who got arrested, and they said, any last words? And he went, yes, I want a succulent Chinese meal. I think he was Australian, innit? I think he was. 35 years ago, when Jack Carlson was hauled into a police car outside a Chinese restaurant in Queensland, yep, he was Australian, he couldn't have known his bombastic speech would be watched by millions around the world, becoming a meme and now to be preserved in Australia's National Film and Sound Archive. Carlson's declaration, gentlemen, this is Democracy Manifest. What is the charge? Eating a meal, a succulent Chinese meal, is one of 9 pieces of audio that have been added to the NFSA Sound of Australia collection. This year, along with a pedestrian crossing signal and Missy Higgins in 2004 hit a scar. Established almost 2 decades ago, the Sound of Australia is a collection of sound recordings that reflect the historical, cultural and aesthetic significance of the country. The recordings, which are nominated by the public and must be for more than a decade old, are voted into the collection by a panel of NFSA sound experts each year. Carlson's a small-time criminal who was known to work under various alliances, achieved global internet stardom, when a 91.7 News report of his arrest went viral on YouTube. The 1-minute exchange included Carlson shouting, "Get your hands off my beep," before complaining one officer on his headlock technique. Marcia Hines in 1977 dance track "You" is the oldest addition to the 26th list. The newest in domestic violence campaigner, Rosie Batty, Australian of the Year Award acceptance speech, was dedicated to 11-year-old son Luke, who unfortunately was murdered by his father. Oh my God. Batty's speech alongside Carlson's is one of the few non-music audio additions to make the collection. The ABC Kimberley 2007 radio broadcast of the federal court's native title determination at Nuncanbat Station, that has also been preserved, as well as the PB pedestrian crossing signal, which is sampled in Billie Eilish's 2019 dance pop track Bad Guy. Joel Dulce's multi-million selling comedy Shut Up Your Face in 1981 has also made the cut, and the 1990 Tabaran music video by Not Drowning, Waving at the Musicians of Rabal, featuring Telik. The 2001 Reading Writing Hotline jingle and Missy Higgins track also completed the list. Scar hit the #1 spot in the ARIA Signals chart when it was first released and was recently voted in the #4 Triple J's hottest 100 of Australian songs in 2025. Our job is to collect the content, resonate with all the Australians, and everyone had such different reference points, says the leader for this list. We ask the public to nominate sounds every year, and we always get such a wild diversity. There are so many perspectives and identities that are wrapped up being an Australian, and what we do try and reflect that diversity of our experience in our collection. Now, there are more than 300,000 audio items which are housed in the National Film and Sound Archive, with 1/3 of the collection classified as at risk and preserved through digestation. I think that's how you pronounce it. So that's what they do in Australia. I don't know if we do that in the UK. I don't think we have a broadcasting... Do we have an archive of famous things that people have said? Or, I don't know, do we have the sound of our crows quawking? No idea. If we haven't, we should do. It's a good way to preserve something. So there we go. That was today's weird news story. That was today's podcast. As I said, you know, I've lost a dear friend of mine who doesn't seem to come out of my head now, and he probably will come back in now that I finish this. But like he would have wanted me to do this. So yeah, this is for him. This is for you, Griff. Griff's calling. Thank you guys. Take care, and I'll see you lot next week.